Hello, witches. My name is Luca, and welcome back to The Sims 4. Once again, today I am going to be renovating another EA house. I've been doing quite a few of these, so I will be sure to leave a link to the playlist down below so you can check out the others. But today we're going back to our roots. We're going back to the classics of renovating some starter homes. So we all know and love this starter home here in the beautiful world of Willow Creek. We love this neighborhood. This is one of my favorite areas in The Sims 4 to play in. It's beautiful. This lot is called Crick Cabana. It's very common to see people going for this one. I don't know why. I think it's just at the corner, unless it's just me. I don't know. Do you prefer one of these other homes? I always go for this one because it just seems the most logical for me. But let's just take a little brief look inside. I am not in this household, so we'll have to go into build mode. But let's go ahead and we can take a peek. Now, my critique of this home is that there's several things wrong with it. Personally, I don't like this light here. You see how it projects like a really weird light, like kind of halfway down the wall. I'm not really a big fan of that. It just seems kind of like odd. That's the only overhead light we have in this entire house, first of all. Second of all, the bedroom is just open. Like, this is just open to the rest of the house. It just doesn't seem right to me. I normally don't move or change walls in these EA house renovations, but I did put a wall here because that makes the most sense. But yeah, honestly, the wall heights I changed because, of course, I'm gonna do that. But everything else I kind of kept the same. But you'll see, you'll get to see what happens in just a minute. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this little house. It's super cute, and it's a good blank slate to start with. So let's go ahead and jump on into the renovation. So here we are into the renovation of this build. So the first thing I also wanted to add on to what I was talking about earlier was the bedroom. The master bedroom here, not only is it just open to the rest of the house because there isn't a wall separating it, it's just so big. Like, it's too big. Whenever I actually renovate this home for just my own personal gameplay, that's the first thing I do is I make this room like half the size. Sometimes I'll even split it up and make it 2 separate rooms, and then there'll be 3 bedrooms in this house. You could do that for sure, but it just I feel like that's one of my bigger critiques of this home. So first thing I did was I actually added a wall. Even though I don't really do that in these renovations that I've been doing lately, I was like, that's an exception I'm gonna make because it needs to be separated. Especially, like, think about it, like, this is meant to be for like a family of 3. I would say, I would feel like the parents would want their bedroom to be separate from their teen or toddler or kid or whatever. I don't know why I said it in that order, but yeah, I just thought that was a main priority. And the wall heights as well. I did change the wall heights, like I said earlier, to the normal, like the short wall height. That automatically makes the house better for me. I don't know what it is. Medium wall heights, they have a lot of functionality. They have a lot of use. And for certain sized homes, it makes sense, especially the bigger they get. If you do like taller wall heights, it makes it make more sense in proportion and everything. But when it's a small house like this, a taller wall height just makes it seem so much smaller for me. I don't know why. But yeah, first thing I did here though in the living room was I changed up the colors a little bit. I kept most of the objects that we already had, but I went with more of just like a light blue, kind of neutral, sort of bluish green kind of color scheme. It's just nice and calming to the eye. It's not so washed out and mismatchy like the yellow wallpaper just did not suit the vibes for me, at least. I will say I did kind of cheat a little bit with the kitchen just because, I did say I was going to try to use the objects that we already had. Well, I totally threw that out the window for the kitchen because I hated what we had in the kitchen. It just didn't look housey enough. It just looked very cheap and plasticky. So I replaced the cabinets with just these slightly more expensive ones from the base game. Also, I just just needed to mention, this is a completely base game only build. With these EA house renovations, what I'm doing is I'm taking the packs that they were made with, and I'm just kind of using those to see if I can do a better version. Since this is a base game only home, this is base game only. So yeah, if I had more simoleons, I would have like put some clutter on top of the refrigerator or maybe put a fruit bowl or something. But I was really trying to hold back because I knew that with what I had in my head, I really wanted to make sure to utilize what little simoleons this sim had left. I actually didn't check the price, like the lot value of this home on the gallery. I should have done that. But if you just have a single sim move in, your sim will have a few simoleons left. So if you do actually have like a family of 3 move in here from your gallery and everything, you'll actually have plenty of simoleons left, I think, because it's 20,000 starting out with just a single sim. But then once you add on more sims, it adds an additional 2,000 every time. So if you have 3 sims, it'll be 24,000, I think? Yeah, 24,000. The kid's bedroom was actually fine. I just needed to make a few adjustments with just some swatches. I added a Blarfy, of course. I love Blarfy. And yeah, I just made it a few adjustments. Didn't go all ham crazy. Just kept it simple because honestly, that's what you want for a starter home is simplicity. And you want something that you can kind of build upon yourself and just make it your own. So keeping it simple at first is good because you can get to know your Sims more, and the more you get to know your Sims, the more you get to know their style, and then the more you'll be able to customize the home based off of that. And especially the more you play too, depending on how you play, at least maybe not for me, but for others, your Sims will go to jobs and make more money, and then they can buy more things. So yeah, it's just nice to have a clean slate to start on that with. The bathroom in this house, didn't do anything to it. Not really. I just got rid of that light, added a new overhead light, I think. Maybe I forgot, who knows. And I just redid the floor because it just didn't look right. It was more expensive anyway, so that saved me a few simoleons, but that was it. I was like, you know what? The bathroom is already fine. It's okay. It's gonna do the job. Maybe if you were playing with toddlers, it'd be better to have a bathtub in here, but that's really it. It just depends on your gameplay. So if you do have a toddler in here, you would have to swap out the bed and the bathtub, or a bed. You would have to swap out. Wow, I can't speak today. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not very caffeinated. You would have to get a toddler bed and then a bathtub. There we go. And then the master bedroom, I was actually avoiding this room because I was kind of worried about it because I was like, oh gosh, I'm not sure what colors I want. It's just so big and awkward back here. It just feels too big. And at the end of the video, I'm still not 100% happy with it, mainly just because it's such a big room. I just didn't like it. I tried to make it work though because what I did was I made 2 different zones. So there is the bedroom, like the bed area, and then I also tried to do like a clothes area with like a dresser and a mirror, and you'll see in a second here. I'm kind of just spoiling it before you actually see it, but you know, I experimented with what we had here, and I liked this color scheme an awful lot, but it didn't really match the rest of the house. That's something I wanted to kind of carry over, was the style from the living and kitchen area. So I did make a few adjustments with the swatches, but for the most part, it's the same. I just wanted it to kind of be slightly brighter, but still kind of cozy and like darker tones, if that makes sense. And yeah, I thought of putting like a little like plant next to the bed would just help a little bit. But yeah, you see me here just making a couple different zones with just a like I did the screen, like is it shoji? I think that's what it's called. It's just a room divider, and it's from the base game. Don't worry. And it separates the little, clothing area from the desk. I just thought it'd be nice to have a desk back here because there wasn't an area for an office in this home, and I thought that made the most sense, right? And I'm attempting to just kind of add some more decor and just make it look a little bit better back there. But then I moved on to the exterior, and the exterior is a lot nicer than I expected it to be. I was gonna go with this really bright colored roof, but I was like, that just doesn't look right. I play around with a few more, I think. I'm not sure what I do. I just did this build and I already have forgotten. But yeah, I played around with it. I was wanting to keep it simple, and basically they had the default roof like pattern on there already. And so I just changed the color, and I thought that looked a lot nicer. It kept it with the same vibes, but I changed it up a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I was really just trying to kind of be as inexpensive as I possibly could with everything. I still didn't have a lot of simoleons left, I'm not gonna lie. Because when I did get to this part of the build, I was like, oh, I want to add some more stuff out front because there wasn't anything on the porch. So I added just a couple of chairs. I thought the white like contrasted really well with all like the gray and that like light wood and the green. I just thought that was a nice color scheme. And I went in and did some landscaping here now. I got rid of the tile that led up to the front because obviously you would rather use terrain paint because terrain paint's free. And I did some show live edit object plants as well. Honestly, I've just been using the same plants over and over in these builds, and honestly, I kind of love it. It keeps it looking very consistent. And plus, you know me, I do love this big round bush as well as the beautiful lavender bushes. You know me, if it's not a build of mine without having some kind of lavender in it. I don't know what it is. It's always been a thing. I love the lavender. It's just so pretty. It adds a lot of color. It adds a lot of like flowers without it being too much. And also it just makes me think of Taylor Swift every now and then because, you know, Lavender Haze, probably my new favorite song by her. Let's be honest. That's just, yeah. I added a couple of these planter like garden pot things out here just to kind of give them something to do. And yeah, that is everything. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Do let me know in the comments what you think, and do let me know in the comments what build you would like for me to do next in this little series. But that is everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I will speak to you all next time. Goodbye, witches.
Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds. Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the ground. You're lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me. I won't be stumbling in the dark. Your eyes are shining like the stars. I was down until you saved me, until you set me free. My eyes were closed, now I see clear as day. And I just wanted to say that you can take me high.